drawing your palms into prayer position, the center of your chest. We'll begin with 3 Oms. Exhale. Inhale. Offering my most loving pranams to the Divine Being within each and every one of you, that is Bhagavan himself. And Om Shri Sai Ram, dear beloved yoga family. Good morning, happy Monday. Thank you all so much for being on the mat this morning for your yoga practice. May this practice bring you a week that is full of bliss and light and love and health and happiness. As we shared on our WhatsApp group, the theme for this week is on our beautiful and beloved spine, and in strengthening the spine through our yoga practice and bringing it lots of love and healing energy, we're going to be ultimately engaging and working with our heart chakra, and I'll explain why in a moment. So perhaps the best place to begin on a Monday with discussing the beautiful and complex spine is on how Brahma made the body. So for those of us who are new, how Brahma made the body is where we start when we talk about the physicality or the anatomy of our bodies. And from there, we go layer by layer, deeper and deeper into the knowledge and spiritual and energetic significance of that particular aspect of our body. So we kind of peel back the layers of our understanding. So how Brahma made the spine. And it's honestly a little bit emotional to talk about the spine, because when we think about it, Brahma could have made us as stick figures. So easy, so simple, and we all lived in a world that was black and white. But no, Brahma made this incredible feat of engineering that any medical professional or even engineer will tell you is truly remarkable. And every organ is so remarkable, but the spine is really something else. It is proof of God. The spine is what can be described very sweetly as being made up of these Lego blocks, which are stacked up one after the other. And those Lego blocks are known as vertebrae. So they're bones, right? And in between the bones, there's joints and ligaments, and the spine is surrounded by beautiful muscle to protect it. And the spine takes the shape of an S curve, right? Notice all the alphabets as well, it's an S. So remember, no matter what, Swami is always holding you up in life, and he is always there as your spine. And this S-shaped, curved, beautiful spine of Lego blocks of vertebra, joints, ligaments, fluid, muscles is doing something very important for us on a daily basis. We don't even think about it. It is keeping us upright. Without a spine, we'd be blobs. And the spine is keeping us upright. It's allowing us to move. It's allowing us to bend, to twist, to stand, to walk, to push objects, to lift things. And therefore, they say the spine is life. The father of modern medicine, which is Hippocrates, he said, to know how healthy a person is, look no further than the spine. It is the source of all health. And if it's unhealthy, it's also the source of disease. That is how important and critical the spine is to our life. So we know that the spine helps us to move. It's also serving the function of protecting some very important organs and critical organs in our body, which I'll explain in a moment as well. So it, for example, connects to the rib cage. The ribs go all the way to the back, and that's protecting our heart and our lungs. It connects to our pelvic girdle, which is protecting our bladder, and especially for women, our reproductive organs. From a spiritual perspective, which we'll discuss later in the week, energetically, it's this bridge, it's this highway of spiritual information connecting heaven to earth. So it's extremely, extremely important. And so with our yoga practice, we bring this prana and this healing energy to our spine, and we keep it healthy. Yoga is extremely beneficial for the spine, and especially for spinal health in yoga, we use what we call back bends. Now, this is what I was saying with the heart and the spine. Back bends massage the vertebra, they strengthen the muscles of the back, they bring fresh prana energy into the spine, and they leave your spine feeling healthy and happy. And your spine in turn will reward you with a long and healthy and happy life. And in doing the back bends, we open up our chest, which is where our heart chakra is seated. But more about that later this week. In today's class, we're going to be talking about and experiencing, because Yoga Utsaha is all about the experience of yoga, experiencing our spine in the 5 different sections that it is comprised of, or that it is split up into, if I can say it that way. So 33 bones, S-shaped curve, and those 33 bones are named in 5 different sections according to the service, purpose that they serve, the service they provide us, and their function and their role. Okay, so bring yourself into a cross-legged position that is comfortable. And we'll begin by exploring the first 7 bones of our spine, which is called the cervical spine. 7 sweet bones, which are the smallest in the spine. And these bones begin at the base of the skull, traveling down to the 7th bone, around our shoulders, in line with our shoulders, roughly in that spot. And the cervical spine 7 bones are responsible for predominantly the movement of our head. Now, regardless of who we are, our head is really quite enormous and heavy. So these bones are extremely important to hold our head up. And we're going to begin by some gentle movements of our head to experience the cervical spine, these 7 bones. So as we are, let's inhale. Exhale as we draw our chin toward our chest, drawing our head forward, leaving our shoulders exactly where they are, drawing our navel toward our spine, feeling a beautiful stretch at the back of your neck. Inhale, drawing the crown of your head back toward the ceiling. Exhale as you now take your head to the back of the room, feeling a stretch along your throat, also so good for opening up your throat chakra. Inhale back to your normal head position. And now taking your left palm over your right ear. Exhale as you draw your head ever so slightly over to your left, feeling a stretch on your right side. Take a normal breath here. And on an inhale, release your palm down to the ground, drawing your right palm over to your left ear. Exhale as you then draw your head over to your right shoulder, feeling a stretch on the left side of your neck and shoulder. Release your palm, bringing your head back to a normal position. From the cervical spine, which is the first 7 bones of our spine, we then move on to experience the next 12 bones of our spine, 12 vertebrae. And this is known as the thoracic spine. The thoracic spine is extremely valuable and important. For the function that it serves is that if we place our palms onto our abdomen where we know our ribs are, and if we poke a little, like I need to feel our ribs, you can feel your ribs. Now imagine and keep feeling around to your back that these ribs are so beautifully connected to the spine, which means that if we didn't have the thoracic spine, there'd be no place for our ribs to connect. And because they're connected to the spine, they form this cage that's protecting our lungs and our heart and keeping us safe and secure. So 12 bones of the thoracic spine, and the thoracic spine also allows us to twist as one of the many movements that our spine allows us. So let's experience our thoracic spine by coming onto all fours, bringing our palms under our shoulders and our knees and our hips. And when you're ready, ensure that you are in a tabletop position. Inhale as you raise your right arm up toward the ceiling, and exhale as you then draw that palm along your mat and thread your palm over to the left, drawing your right ear to the ground. Hips stay in the air. You can breathe normally. This is the purpose of the thoracic spine, allowing us to move in this way. And we're also still working the cervical spine, since our neck is engaged in this posture. On an inhale, unthread your arm, raise your palm back up toward the ceiling, and exhale as you bring your palm back to the mat. Inhale as you take your left palm up toward the ceiling. Exhale as you draw your palm under your right arm, drawing your left ear to the mat. Breathe deeply. Feeling your spine allow you into this movement. And then on an inhale, begin to draw your body up. Draw your left palm back up toward the ceiling. And exhale back to all fours. You can come to sit back on your heels in Vajrasana, big toes touch, as we talk about the next part of our spine. If sitting in Vajrasana is uncomfortable for you, you can bring a folded up towel or even a pillow or a cushion under your ankles or the tops of your feet. And if you are here, ensure that your shoulders are away from your ears. Core muscles are activated by drawing your abdomen in toward your spine. So now that we've explored our cervical spine, 7 bones, thoracic spine, 12 bones, we come to the biggest bones or vertebra of our spine. This is known as the lumbar spine. So if everybody takes their palms over to their back and places it around what we would normally call our lower back, there are 5 bones here. And again, these are the 5 biggest vertebrae of the spine, lumbar spine. And these bones bear the most weight of our entire body. They are responsible for helping us lift things. And again, it's supporting the entire spine. So as a result, because of the weight and the strain that they can come under, especially if our spine is not healthy and strong, they struggle with the most injury in humans, right? So we want to ensure that our lumbar spine is strong at all times. So let's give our lumbar spine a beautiful stretch and a beautiful hug of love this morning. From Vajrasana, placing our palms flat on the mat, we're going to do a variation of child's pose. Begin to walk your palms away from you, keeping your knees together as you fold forward, drawing your forehead in toward the mat. And once you've reached your maximum, simply allow the weight of your head and the tailbone of your body to extend toward the mat as you feel a stretch in your lower back. Breathe deeply. On an inhale, gently begin to walk your palms back toward your body as you come back into your seated Vajrasana. So we've now spoken about the cervical spine, the thoracic spine, the lumbar spine, and we're coming to a very important as well, all parts are important, but we're coming to another important part of the spine, which is a wobbly triangular shaped bone. Now it's very special and unique because unlike the other three sections of the spine, there's the bones of this bone are fused, okay? So it's a triangular shaped bone that's here, right? And it's called the sacrum. Okay, so it's found, and you can possibly feel it if you press into it. And the sacrum, or the bones of the sacrum, there's 5 bones and they're fused together to form this wobbly triangular shaped bone. And they serve a very important purpose because the sacrum connects to our hip bones. So everybody, let's feel our hips. And the hip bones and the sacrum are part of what we know as the pelvic girdle. And the pelvic girdle is what protects our bladder and especially in women, our reproductive organs. So the sacrum is really important and it connects to the spine as well. And to be able to experience our sacrum and give the sacrum a lot of love, let's come onto all fours. Extend our right leg back and our left leg back. Let's take a brief moment in plank pose, remembering our homework from last week. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale as you draw your hips toward the ceiling. Draw your heels in toward the ground. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. And this is giving your sacrum such a beautiful connection. It's stretching out your lower back. You can pedal your legs. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. Keep breathing deeply. Inhale as you rise your right leg up behind you. Exhale as you draw your foot onto the mat, lowering your back leg, rising your arms up and overhead for Anjanayasana. This is our first back bend, and it's engaging our spine beautifully. Let's breathe. shining our right knee over to the front of the room. Feeling the strength of your spine. Let's exhale our palms back toward the mat. Curl up your back toes. Inhale as you lift your back leg and take your right foot over to meet your left, back into downward facing dog. Let's take a moment. Drawing your sacrum in toward the ground, or feeling that movement if you can. And let's inhale our left leg up behind us. Foot is active. And exhale our left foot onto the mat, lowering our right knee. Left knee shines to the ground, to the front. Inhale up and over, taking ourselves into the back bend of Anjanayasana or crescent pose. Breathe deeply, feeling the strength of our spine, the cervical spine of the neck, thoracic spine, lumbar spine, sacrum, and we'll talk about the coccyx or tailbone very soon. Keep breathing deeply, draw your shoulders away from your ears. And on an exhale, let's lower our palms toward the mat. Curl up our back toes, lift our back knee, and draw our left foot toward our right as we come back into downward facing dog. Feeling once again our spine and the strength it provides our bodies. On an exhale, draw your right foot just behind your right palm and your left foot just behind your left palm. Turn your feet out to 45 degrees. And let's begin to lower our hips toward the mat. If this begins to feel uncomfortable, again, we can place rolled up towels or pillows or cushions underneath our heels to allow us to be comfortable in this squat, which is known as Malasana. Okay? And once we've reached Malasana, we can bring our palms into prayer position or leave our palms on the ground if that's comfortable. But the main thing is that our spine should be as straight as possible or lengthened as possible. Remember, it's an S-shaped curve, so it's lengthened. And here we are drawing the final piece of the spinal puzzle, which is the coccyx or the tailbone in toward the ground. And the coccyx is a small piece of the vertebra which actually consists of 4 bones which are fused together. 4 bones make up the tailbone or coccyx. So let's draw our coccyx in toward the ground and draw the crown of our head toward the ceiling. We breathe. Malasana is so good for you, so healthy and therapeutic for your pelvic girdle, for your reproductive system, regardless of whether you're a male or female. And on an exhale, we release our palms and lower our hips all the way over to the ground, extending our legs out in front of us. And engaging our core muscles once again. We extend our arms out in front of us Lengthen our spine, draw our shoulders away from our ears, and we release one vertebra at a time onto the mat. Once you're there, bend up your left leg and your right leg, and then bend up both feet up toward the ceiling. From here, bend up your knees, drawing your knees in toward your armpits. You can leave your feet here, or you can draw your arms toward your feet and take hold of your big toes with your thumb and your first two fingers. And from here, we're going to draw our knees toward our armpits as much as we can, drawing our spine in toward the mat. So trying to aim for no space between the spine and the ground. There's a full flush connection, including our tailbone, all the way up to the first vertebra of our cervical spine. Although there will be a space between the back of your neck and the ground, so don't worry about that. That's perfectly healthy and normal. Keep breathing deeply. On an exhale, we release our feet, draw our knees in toward our chest for a brief hug and a squeeze. And place our feet back on the mat, releasing into our Shavasana, palms on either side of the body. Let your feet fall naturally. On an inhale, gently bend up your left foot, your left leg, placing your left foot on the mat. Press into your left foot, rolling over to your right side. Draw your knees in toward your chest, curling into a ball, and fold your right arm under your right ear. Place your left palm on the ground. And as you lie here, feel the energy and the strength of your spine. Remember the S shape of your spine. S for Satya Sai. Swami is your strength. He is your support. He is always within you. And therefore, there is nothing that you cannot accomplish. On an inhale, extend your left leg out as you press into your left palm, bringing yourself up to a seated position. And cross your legs. Take a moment to feel your body, feel the lengthening in your spine. Our homework for this week is to continue to feel the lengthening in our spine as we keep our abdominal muscles activated. The beauty is that when our abdomen or our core is strong, it's impossible for us to slouch. And so we're going to keep engaging our core and abdominal muscles and ensure that there is no slouching in our spine. When the spine is alert, our brain is alert, and we are healthy and happy. Let's draw our palms in toward the center of our chest. We'll close with one Om and 3 Shantis. Exhale. Inhale. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, perfect, powerful peace to you, to your loved ones, and to the entire planet. May this peace bring healing and salvation to the whole world. Jai Sai Ram. Thank you all so much, everyone. Lots and lots of love. Have a beautiful Monday. And tomorrow we'll continue with even more amazing benefits and functions of the spine and the spinal cord. Lots of love. Sai Ram.